Welcome back, true believers and all you spectacular Spidey fans, to another very interesting Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse related video. And in case you somehow forgot, yes, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1 is still confirmed to fully release this year in October of 2022. And while we currently only have an official teaser trailer to go off of for the movie, we recently received a very intriguing director interview between Phil Lord and Chris Miller going over their overall vision pertaining to how they are approaching this movie in comparison to their previous Spider-Man film, obviously being Into the Spider-Verse. And granted, while some of this information might be a bit obvious and self-explanatory already if you did pay close attention to the Across the Spider-Verse teaser trailer, it still is rather intriguing nonetheless to fully gain some insights about the movie from both Phil Lord and Chris Miller respectively. Because as both Phil and Chris go on to elaborate, is that both Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Parts 1 and 2 will have their own unique art styles for each different dimension. And to read directly from this article coming from Collider.com, it does go on to describe Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1 is one of the most hotly anticipated superhero sequels of the year. Pushing aside even Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, the first of two sequels to 2018's Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse has been in the works since before the first film even hit theaters. And in an interview with Collider's own Steven Weintraub for the After Party, Phil Lord and Chris Miller spoke about the quote-unquote ambitious sequel, as they described it, hinting at expanding on a fan-favorite aspect of the series. One of the most iconic parts of Into the Spider-Verse and what separates it from its multiversal counterpart, Spider-Man No Way Home, was the unique animation styles used to differentiate between Spider-People. Anime for Penny Parker, flat black and white for Spider-Man Noir, and a unique 3D animated look for hero Miles Morales all contributed by giving the heroes recognizable looks that stuck with audiences well after the film ended. That style was one of many things Into the Spider-Verse was praised for, changing the way audiences understood what animation can do. And it looks like Lord and Miller plan to stretch the limits of their chosen medium even further when both parts of Across the Spider-Verse hit theaters. And coming from Chris Miller directly, he is quoted by saying it is, as Phil said, a very ambitious sequel, because we didn't want to just sort of do the same thing again. And so the idea that we'd be going to different dimensions really opened up an opportunity artistically to have each world have its own art style and to be able to push the folks at ImageWorks to develop a way to have each dimension feel like it was drawn by a different artist's hand. Seeing the development of that stuff is breathtaking, and really, it's the reason we keep doing it, because it's so hard to get it right. So yeah, if you did pay close attention to the Across the Spider-Verse trailer, when we do see Miles transport from a certain type of dimensional wormhole into a brand new universe, the overall art style that is encompassing that world looks completely different from the standard type of animation that we did see in the first movie. In fact, if you end up pausing at certain points of that sequence during the trailer, you do actually see some scriptures of Hindu on the screen, which may tease a potential cameo of Spider-Man India appearing at one point in the film. It's also been essentially confirmed at this point by both Phil Lord and Chris Miller respectively that at least one of the Spider-People that is going to appear within Across the Spider-Verse, either Part 1 or Part 2, is in fact going to be the Japanese version of Spider-Man. And if we end up seeing that iteration of Spider-Man in an animated format alongside of his giant mechanical robot, that is going to be absolutely awesome. So in summary, everybody, it totally sounds like Across the Spider-Verse, both Part 1 and Part 2, is going full on Shattered Dimensions at this point, where every single universe that we will see in the movie is going to look and feel completely different from the previous one. It was already cool seeing different forms of Spider-People look and feel completely different with their own unique animation styles in the first movie, but now knowing that same logic is going to apply to various universes themselves instead of just the Spider-People alone, that is surely going to make this film one of the most visually stunning animated movies to probably ever be put on screen. And just knowing how well the first movie was handled, I can only imagine to see exactly how Across the Spider-Verse is going to turn out. But with all that said, everybody, that's the video I have for you today, and please let me know all your thoughts in the comments section down below. What do you think of this news pertaining to Across the Spider-Verse, and which particular Spider-Person do you want to see appear in the movie the most? For me, I would obviously love it if we were to somehow receive a possible cameo appearance of either of the Insomniac versions of Spider-Man with Peter or Miles, or possibly see any one of the Scarlet Spiders appear on screen. I mean, for crying out loud, the first movie already fully included Spider-Ham as a supporting character, so who knows exactly what Across the Spider-Verse has up its sleeves. And with all that said, everybody, thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you did enjoy, and for more videos like this in the future. And without further ado, peace out.